hoping to do is to show the rest of projects working in Belize how they can run something with the community, for the community, and by the community, by getting young people involved in the entire archaeological process from start to finish. It is a major part of my PhD research, but for me, the greatest part of it comes from seeing young people learning about their own culture and their own history and learning from it by their own hands. It is an absolute pleasure and a privilege to be on this campus and to collaborate with a principal that is as excited as we are in terms of what we have in our very own backyard and the potential stories that this can tell us about the ancient Maya within this region. So I want to say once again, welcome. Thank you so much for coming today. I will invite Ms. Jones to say something because she is the reason why we are all here today.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy, very excited that we are going to be the first high school ever in Belize to have its own archaeological site, and the excavation being done by you and whichever teacher is willing to, and any member of the community. We have the mayor here. Thank you for your support, for being here. Maybe he can donate us some water one day. Thank you to Ms. Bonce for being here as well, and thank you for Ms. Nayeli and the rest of the House of Culture for being here as well. And obviously to all of you students, thank you for being here. Thank you to soon Dr. Antonio here. I thank him for accepting the invitation, for coming and saying, Miss, we can do something, we're going to help you. It's something to be proud of as Mopaneros, as Benqueños as well, because this is part of who we are. Yeah. And today we have Miss Felicita Cantun, who is going to do the ceremony. She has explained that to you as well. So be privileged, because some of you haven't seen this kind of ceremony before. This is something that you could always go back to class and share what you have seen and the experience that you have had. And thank you as well to my father, who's always supporting me in everything that I do. To the teachers who are here, thank you for coming, for bringing the students as well. I really, really appreciate that, and thank you to all other visitors that we have. We are going to start with this today, and so the students who have signed up for it, this will be your home.
Oh, home away from home.
Away from home for the next few weeks. The archaeologist that came on Saturday explained that this is bigger than what we thought. The whole structure is bigger than what we thought, and so it might take
a couple of years. Yeah. I mean, I see us actually looking at a multi-year project working along with Mopan and the successive classes coming in, and also working with other high schools in Cayo. For example, we have 2 students here from Galen who will receive their undergrad field credits by working at this site, and we're inviting other people to volunteer. So once again, at some point I want to see if Miss Nayeli with her boots and her jeans to come, you know, and get dirty. Mr. Mayor, it will be a great photo op to show you with a pic excavating our history. That way everyone can see how involved the entire community is, and we can all make Benque proud. Because one thing I can say from my experience working across Belize is that Benque is a very special town in that regard, that has a pride for their culture, for their heritage, and for their history, and they have people who are actively engaged to keep it going. And anytime I can be involved with anything that is culture-based in Benque, I always say yes. So I am very, very happy and proud to be here.
Thank you. We move on now to the ceremony. As Mrs. Canton said, we need to ask our ancestors and the spirits for permission to go into their homes and for this excavation to be peaceful as well.
Permission to the east, everybody will stand and face the east. When we ask from the north, we face the north. South, we face the south. West, we face the west. then for the heavens, and then for the underworld. ¿Entendido? Muy bien. Aksutikakpakat. Chicken. Ono ek balami chicken. Aksutikakpakat tush kuchinilkin. Utelulik il tukaten san samale. Aksut yetel kimak ola yetel botik. Tumen kuyantar uhel balod. Ono ek balami chicken. Katiktech. Katstaik. Utsdisbay. Pitulakale makob. Yanumeya hob ichide kustal. Ichide kuchila. Aksutik ba? To behil no hol. O no kan balami no hol. Aksutik akpakat. Tush kutal tulaka balkinal. Yetel sisol. Leken hach kuchokota lekinob. Baikap toon. Yetel o. Utsmakod. O no kan balami no hol. Inkatiktech. Katulaka le mashob. Yanumeya hob. Waye. Katsaik tulakal bash kabet. Tio. Telo pahtalo meya hob hachmalo. The heavens. The heavens up there. Aksutik ba? Tikanalo. Tusya nileej. Tata yung kin. Nohot sij u. Chkik eko. Aton aksasilil. Yalak pahtal. Ilik. Baas kabet ak ilik. Kinak meya. Ichida kuchida. Yanumeya ho boye. Ichida kuchida. Upuksikal kaan. Upuksikal ik. Upuksikal ha. Upuksikal nalun.
That is important to collect data is to set up the square called the unit. So we only excavate inside because archaeology is a very destructive science. Once you dig it out, you can't put it back. So for our purposes, to open up digging and to inaugurate this site, Yumkash, chosen by the students of Mopan, the Jones will do the first hit. If you ever decide to retire from being a principal, we could use it for archaeology.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right on top, she already found evidence of occupation.
I can continue digging.
So something like this, to to other archaeologists might just be a simple ceramic sherd, but we have to look at it in a different way. This object was made by someone a long time ago. That person had a name, a story. That person was part of a community. Archaeologists also make their own community, and we work within communities. It is important for the archaeological community to involve the local community in the work they do, so they can understand the ancient communities that made these things, which all form part of our cultural heritage. So it doesn't matter where you live across Belize, whatever your cultural or ethnic background may be, whatever we find in the land that is now Belize is part of all of our history. For Maya, history is Belize history. And these things, as small as they may be, can tell us a lot about an ancient culture whose people still live with us today. So that is hopefully the moral and the story that we want to share with the young people who will be working here. And any volunteers who want to come by, bring their kids, want to come by and get dirty themselves, you are always very, very welcome. Right now, we expect to see us. Find inside the square are what we are going to document. And if you want to document other areas, then we have to open up another square and then another square, so that we can teach the proper procedures for doing archaeology and take away the notion that only foreigners can do archaeology in Belize, and that it is something that is simple and practical, that young people can learn how to do the steps. Once we do that, then we break the stigma that archaeology does not belong to our own people. I don't know how many of you might agree with that, but usually the face of archaeology tends to be, well, it doesn't look like us. It looks like foreigners. Although, you know, I could pass, I mean, I'm red, but ni modos. I'm only half gringo. The other half is Maya. So yes. So I want the future of archaeology to look like the faces we see in the crowd here today. Belizeans doing it for Belizeans. So the people writing the history books and the history articles about Belize will be other Belizeans, with collaboration from outside, because that will always be a necessary part. But putting the power in the hands of more young people, and I'm proud that this is happening in Benque. That's because I live very close, it's easier for me to come to, but also because I've known Ms. Jones for quite a number of years, all the way back to my sixth form days. And the passion that she had and the excitement to reach out and ask again, and then you were like, you know what, this is actually a good thing, it could be a great partnership. And then, like she said, we come out here on Saturday, did an assessment, realized there was more than we thought there was. So, you know, this could be several years of working along with Mopan and the people of Benque. So, if anybody else wants to come in and put in one pick, just to get the experience, you're welcome to come up and do so. Inside the square, yes, as long as it's inside the square. All right, very good. All right, future archaeologists. Just don't say anything.
There's something here.
Oh, but I mean, still, it's something. It's a rock. Just be careful, because you might find a burial underneath there.
Hit something.
But that's good. See, this is the process. Something as simple as this is how we start.
Simple as this, right?
Very good. Check it out there. But what you can see, like, whole process of what archaeology is. It's not something that you can just... Uh-oh. All right. At this level, so this is built up. There are stones right there, for example. The Maya, to raise up the side of the structure, would use these kind of stones as construction fill. So it's possible that underneath this structure have earlier structures, and that we now have only one platform but two, one over here and one on the other side, that eventually we will get to. The goal, right where they're walking, maybe another 50 feet that way. So we have possibly two small platforms that people used to live on. So we have like maybe like two families that used to live around this area. The goal is to excavate and to see if we can find any architecture, and then we'll know more of what we're looking at. Then once we expose any of the architecture, then we'll create a map of the area using GPS. And then with any luck, if we find anything that is intact and is well preserved, then could be conserved for the high school and for the town of Benque as well. Yeah, because like at first I thought it was a lot smaller. I thought it was just the house mount, but this just got a lot bigger. So so right where the tree is with the rope, you can see how it kind of dips and goes up. That is a mound. And then right over here, another small rise with another mound. Be a mound that's not here. There's one missing in the west, so we don't know why that is. So the goal then is to we'll put a big excavation unit in the center here. When we get more students on the edge, so we can try to see if we find architecture. Once you find architecture, then it becomes easier because we just follow along the architecture to expose all the rest. But since this has never been documented before, we have to dig a test pit to see what we can find first. And then the goal is then to see what kind of goods the people who live there had access to. That will determine like how affluent they were, like what things that they could afford. If we find trade items that come from the highlands of Guatemala or from the coast, for example, then that means they had means. And the size of the structure indicates that indicates that they had labor to help them build this up. So we might not be looking at just like very, very normal common poor people. They might actually have some means. But it's actually quite exciting. Good. Stand right there.